News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
A man shot by two Kalispell police officers. Good morning, everyone. This is Montana Morning. It is Wednesday, January 13th, 2016. Right now we have 24 degrees under a cloudy sky. We're expecting some rain, some freezing rain, some snow as the day continues. And our newscast this morning, sponsored by Bullseye Wear, where they offer some of the lowest prices in town on contact lenses. See Lynette at Bullseye Wear, 2910 South Reserve. Authorities say two police officers shot a man during a confrontation in a residential neighborhood near Kalispell. The Flathead Beacon reports the shooting occurred inside a home yesterday after Kalispell officers responded to a report of a suicidal woman. Investigators say that as the officers talked to the woman inside, a man came from a back room holding a rifle. The officers told the man to drop it. He instead pointed it at them, and both police officers shot the man. Flathead County Sheriff Chuck Curry said his office has been asked to investigate. The man was taken to a hospital and underwent surgery. His name and condition are not known. After the storm of reaction to Monday's announcement of an ownership change to Mountain Water, an old axiom was proven true once again. Whiskey's for drinking, water's for fighting. Mountain Water President John Kappas said last Friday Liberty Utilities acquired Western Water Holdings in all of its subsidiaries, including Mountain Water, but that locally nothing had changed.
For Mountain Water Company, our stock has not changed. Our ownership is still with Park Water. We continue to serve the community here with the same exact employees. And so really from the standpoint of ownership with Mountain Water, nothing has changed, and the consumer will not see any change relating to this transaction.
In an exclusive interview, KGVO News asked Kappas, quote, if the condemnation goes through and the Supreme Court approves the necessity ruling, will the city simply be purchasing Mountain Water from Liberty rather than from Carlisle? End quote. He said essentially yes, with one addition.
The city will buy the assets in condemnation from Mountain Water Company right now, just as they would have if Carlisle owned. Remember, the assets that they are condemning are Mountain Water's assets, and Mountain Water Company still exists today. So that's really how simple it is.
He said Mountain Water is still regulated by the Public Service Commission for rates and services. However, that would change if and when the city gains ownership. Let's continue with the Mountain Water sale. The three-way fight over jurisdiction is now one step closer to resolution. The Montana Public Service Commission asked District Court Judge Leslie Halligan in Missoula to lift a temporary stay order that had been put on the sale of Missoula's Mountain Water to Liberty Utilities. According to spokesman Eric Sell, the stay was lifted yesterday.
So Judge Halligan issued an order today granting the PSC's request to partially lift the temporary stay that she placed on her proceeding back in December. This allows us to solicit comments from the parties regarding the jurisdictional questions that have been raised, and then following that we will decide how to proceed with the situation.
All three of the main players in this drama have a different interpretation on who has jurisdiction. And on this issue, both Liberty Utilities and the city appear to be in agreement that the PSC does not have jurisdiction.
The city's argument is because they claim they have ownership, which we believe they don't because they haven't written a check for the water system yet. And Liberty is arguing that as they are buying Park Water, and that includes Mountain Water, that takes it out of the PSC's jurisdiction as well, which we also object to that argument.
Sell says now that the judge has lifted the stay, which has been in place since December, the PSC will be able to look at the official jurisdictional arguments. Now, what about the chairman of the Public Service Commission? We spoke with him yesterday on Talkback. Chairman Brad Johnson said the sale was not acceptable and should have been overseen by the PSC.
We simply cannot allow that kind of precedent where a regulated utility simply gives the back of their hand to the commission and goes on to do what they want to do, irrespective of our role in the process. That's the thing that we are saying is not acceptable, and that we will forcefully respond to.
However forceful their response may be, Johnson seemed to have little hope of actually reversing the sale.
I'm not suggesting for a moment that we're going to be able to force the sale to be undone. I doubt that that's a realistic expectation. But we're looking at alternative remedies to make clear that if this kind of end run happens in the future, that there are going to be specific consequences.
The sale of Park Water to Liberty Utilities without PSC approval was an unprecedented move in Montana. The PSC plans to deter similar transfers in the future, but whether that deterrence comes in the form of fines or regulations has not yet been determined. A jury has convicted a Billings man of shooting his neighbor to death in 2013. The Billings Gazette reports jurors found Patrick Neese guilty yesterday in the March 2013 death of 47-year-old Frank Green. Green was shot 3 times, including a close shot to the back of his head. He was found dead outside his home. The 2 men shared a property line, and court records document an ongoing dispute between them over an alleged stolen Camaro motor. Defense attorney Lance Lundvall presented several different theories for who could have been involved. He stressed he didn't know who killed Green, but that law enforcement had failed to properly investigate the crime. Prosecutors noted that the gunshot residue was found on Neese's hands and face. Following the political rancor of the last election, Missoula County Sheriff T.J. McDermott is reaching out to form a Citizens Advisory Committee. McDermott has asked former Missoula City Manager and County Commissioner Larry Anderson to look into the possibility of forming the first such committee in the state.
When the election was over, the sheriff asked me and some other folks what he could do to kind of reach out to the community at large and put away the politics and remind people that law enforcement was there to serve the entire community, not just those folks that elected him.
Anderson said the idea was to bring all parts of the community together, both politically and socially.
One would be a member appointed by the Democratic Central Committee, one appointed by the Republican Central Committee, and then one member representing the Native American community, and one member representing advocates for victims of crime.
Those chosen for the committee would be asked to meet a minimum of 4 times a year, in addition to other instances that may be called for by Sheriff McDermott. Criminal patients at the overcrowded Montana State Hospital will soon be moved to a secure mental health facility. The newspapers reports the state will move people committed to the state hospital through the criminal justice system to a new mental health facility set up in the former Reintegrating Youth Offenders building in Galen. Such patients are currently kept in the hospital's D wing, which is licensed to hold 32 people but often has more than 50. The lease for the new facility begins February 1st and lasts through 2035. It'll have 60 beds total, including 6 beds to keep women separate. Our News Talk time is 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
A mix of rain, snow, and maybe even a little bit of freezing rain for your morning drive, possible around the Missoula area and in the surroundings as well. High today right around 30 degrees. I'm meteorologist Matt Gray for the NBC Montana Severe Weather Alert Team.